running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
On this team this year. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025. Today. This one the other way. He is still going back. That's the drag. Walks up and down. Edwards pulls off and buries a play. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt three right on the money.
Takes his shot for Derby. Flag out. Doesn't matter. Touchdown.
What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps? Welcome in to Thirsty Thursday's edition of Pitchfork Lunch. I am Michael Carasino at Diablo005 _ on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. You know it, you love it. Yes, let's enjoy it. You can check us live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. And you also know that you can check out the show. I don't know if you've heard this, Pitchfork Lunchers, but you can check it out on the IG too, on Instagram at michael.caratinudo.5. All you have to do, it is very simple. You go to Instagram and you see my name, but just add a dot between the first and last name and then a .5, and then bam, michael.caratinudo.5 on the good old IG. Also, last but not least, as you guys know, you can go to the wonderful world of YouTube and watch there. So again, don't be bashful with that. You can watch at YouTube, and because you want to watch live, but yes, you need to subscribe to the channel as well, because guess what? You have missed a plethora of phenomenal con-reviews here on Pitchfork Lunch, whether it be with coaches, players, voices, insiders, analysts, alum, all have been here and are come through here, and whether it be sounds from practice, post-game, press conferences, breaking it down, again, talking. You have missed a ton. So, yeah, I got to say to you, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because all the stuff that you have missed, and when I say alum from many different generations, so all that you have missed is there. And you go to YouTube, you guys know how to get there. You see my name, Michael Caratinudo, but the page is at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005, at MVC005 on YouTube. And subscribe. Again, like I said, a lot to catch up on, but man, forks up. It is all there for you. And again, coaches, players, because when we have, friends of the program on, yes, I don't ask them the same questions as if they're on for the first time. They'd probably get pretty bored of that. And even though they're very, very genuine, nice people, probably be like, I don't know if I have time. So yes. So subscribe to the channel. And for you regular Pitchfork Lunchers, you know what I'm going to say to the new Pitchfork Lunchers. Hey, forks up. I'm stoked you're here. I'm glad you are. But where have you been? Shame on you. Where have you been? But you can go to YouTube and subscribe, because when I say you've missed a lot, that would be, well, you need to binge watch season 1 and keep watching season 3, binge watch season 2, keep watching season 3. And then as you finish seasons 1 and 2, as you're watching season 3, again, like I said, watch, because you'll be able to put things together. You can see growth. You can see how things have, gone. And yes, it has been it's taking it this way, but we want to keep going up and up. So that being said, you can watch all that. And by the time season 4 rolls out, which again, not rushing to, because there is a lot to get to, finish up, obviously this spring, getting closer to graduation. Yes, I know, but softball, baseball, men's and women's tennis, men's and women's golf, track and field, a lot of just phenomenalness going around. And yeah, it is absolutely awesome. So that being said, you'll be all caught up by season 4, and you can roll. And again, hit me up here in the comments. Again, you can hit me up, send me a message, civil, keep it civil on the up and up, and no spam stuff. Not that you would. I say that, Pitchfork Lunchers, because, I'm sure there's some people down south that, might have an issue or 2 or 4. I kid because I care. I tease because it's fun. But yes, hit me up at Diablo005 _ on X, my IG, michael.caratinudo.5. Leave comments here on the show. Maybe if there's something you say, hey man, you haven't really mentioned this, or think about this. I am all for it, guys. In, around, through Sun Devil Nation, all for it. So again, YouTube, you can subscribe. You see my name, Michael Caratinudo, but the page is at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005, at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe away, my friends. So today, Thursday, hopefully we don't get this. Softball opening up their series. Again, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday series all the time with BYU. as like I've told you, reminded you, they do not play on Sundays. But hopefully there is not a review that somehow gets overturned that's like this. And I know it's a little blurry. This is from the Texas Tech game last week where a runner was called safe, even though, and I'll wait till I'm fully on camera, but was called safe, went by the catcher, didn't tag, umpire didn't say anything. She dives back, and Sam Swan, again, from that angle, I know it looks like, well, that's the white thing is the white that you see there is the glove, her batting glove. So, and the plate is over there. Somehow she's called safe, so the glove completely missed from a millimeter away. It was reviewed. Absolutely don't get it. It was called out, should have been out. The home plate umpire was covering third, and then the first base umpire had come down to make the call, called it out originally, and then it was challenged, and she's saying she's safe. That makes no sense to me. But plus, here's the thing too, and I don't know if I've said this on before because I know I've talked about, like unwritten rules between, in baseball and stuff with, if a guy gets hit, they're going to hit some guy, or don't flip your bat, or don't do this, or don't do that. Don't, God forbid you show any emotion. But here's the thing that drives me crazy. And I've said this about, okay, it's kind of like you pitchfork lunchers, and I'll keep this quick. You've heard me talk about this. You've heard me talk about like a player gets walked and it's not an official at bat, right? It's not an at bat because it's like, well, how do we calculate it? Like they didn't get a hit, but they also didn't strike out. So they get walked. It's not an official at bat, but when they go to first base and touch first base, that counts towards their total bases of the season. So they're officially on base. Now, I say that to say, when you're running to first, right? You get a hit, you're running to first. Now, everybody that played the game, they might explain it, and T-ball kids might not fully contemplate then, but yeah, you run to first base, you hit the bag, you peel off, because obviously you're running, you can't just stop. So you peel off into foul territory, and you're fine. They can't tag you out as you're coming back to first base, right? Makes sense. If you're, like say it was it's a hit, but you're running, maybe it's shallow in the outfield and you're running and you beat it out, but you go into foul territory. Now, if you curve and go into fair territory, you can get tagged out. That's fine. But my point, what I'm getting at is if you're running down the first base line and you go around too far outside, pass the line, or too far inside, you're out of the baseline. Because you ran out of the baseline, you're out, right? Going down to second base, same thing. Try and go, obviously, well, I don't know why you would try to go behind the second baseman, but if he's charging up, but you're in the baseline, yeah, there's that teeny bit of leeway. Again, yes, you want to run it in a straight line anyway. There's a teeny bit of leeway. But if you bend way back in towards the grass and stuff like that and then go back out, it'll be you're so far out of the baseline, you're out. Like, yeah, you can jump to the side like a step and try and avoid a tag. It makes sense. But you go that much out of the way, you're out. Same thing going down the third. How is it, though, that going down the home plate, and I've said this for years, and not just because this went against the Devils. I've said this for years. Even watching baseball teams I can't stand. And it goes against them, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And even having played, granted, I didn't play at the college level or the pro level, but having been around, but the catcher, they changed the rule. The catcher can't block the plate now. Because before, it's like you're going to charge out the catcher and try and barrel through him so he drops the ball. Or, slide under, whatever, right? But when you're coming down the third base line and then you go all the way outside, you jump, you're outside the box, and then you miss, and then you're way outside the batter's box on the other side, and then you come back and jump in and touch the plate. It can be safe. Like, if they say, oh, well, it's for interpretation. No, it's not for interpretation. You could always make the excuse at second base. Well, hey, they forced me to go there. They drove me that way. So no, I shouldn't be called out because I was out of the baseline path, like crazy out of the baseline path. Like, it's ridiculous. And when you see this is just the end of it. I wonder if because I think I got the whole play, but my point to you is, if this is it, let me see if this is it before, because if so, if so, I'll download and play it. But again, my camera got over just a teeny bit late. Yeah, it was a hit into left field. The throw, I mean, totally beats the runner, and you'll see it. And I slide over, and then when she dives back, she's trying to say she got in there, but inevitably it was reviewed, and she did. But yeah, I did get the whole play. So let me put it down for you. But and again, I freeze froze that frame because it shows the dive back. That being said, here's the whole play. And okay, give it one. Okay, so I'll stay on screen, but here's the whole play. You'll see the hit, and you'll see the throw from left field because it's a single to left field, or it's a hit to left field, I should say. Goes to the wall, but the throw, I mean, gets a third, and she has barely rounded the base. A cutoff, and Brooklyn Ulrich, I want to say, makes a throw. But anyway, here it is. Keep it on. But yeah, you see it goes to the wall. Okay, here's the throw. Look at that. Ulrich is there, totally deep. Now she is way outside of that. And then umpire says she's down, and he says she's safe. And Sam Swan standing right there. So again, yeah, so it was under review. But look, I mean, even if so when we see it from here, it just, again, she's down the baseline. The catcher is blocking it, and just don't let it play. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to me. Because when we, I mean, you see home plate, okay, to the left of the umpire there. And that's after she dove, but hold on. So yeah, so she's coming in here, right? I mean, Ulrich already has a ball. I mean, again, never should have went. So Ulrich fires it in. I mean, ball beats her there. And look, okay, so as I'm going here, she is, look at that. She's out the back. That is so out of the baseline. And again, getting to come back, like if you're that far out, but even when she slides in, look, okay, so she's coming down the baseline here. We see that, sorry. Okay, so she's there. She's still outside. Bat's kind of in the way. She slides, but the way she dives away from Swan, who's there at the plate again, to the right of the plate. But Sam Swan didn't get her on the tag there, and then she is so far out of the baseline. Though you should be out. That's my point. Like oops. I just saw it. Okay, sorry. That just annoys the crowd. That's one of the rules. And even since I was a kid, I was like, sweet, man, I'm going to run 4 feet out of the home plate baseline and make the catcher come over because they're never going to call me out. Like, if it's a subjective thing, if it's like for interpretation, I should say. But first base, second base, third base, it's not. Like, it's just not. So anyway, drove me crazy. Wanted to wrap that up from the other day. What do you guys think? Hit me up in the comments. You can tell me I'm crazy. And again, it's not about that. I'm not saying they would have came back and won the game. I mean, they fell again. They weren't consistent hitting on Sunday. Just that's when you're in games like this and it's late. And if that's the postseason, like, I'm sorry. To me, the runner's out. You are that far out of the baseline. Like, the catcher can't block the plate anymore. They can stand next to it. They can be right there on the angle. So, yes, they can tag you coming in. But they can't literally stand on the plate, as we know. So I would be livid if I was a catcher and on the review, how do you come back? And I would have went back and challenged it. She was out of the baseline. They just challenged, safe. I would have said, no, she's way too far out of the baseline for, a tag. She should be out because of where she was. So to me, that's that. But anyway, they play BYU, onward and upward, right? So as they softball takes on BYU again today, and that is at, let's see. You want to say 4 o'clock our time, or is it 5? The Cougars of BYU. 5, yeah, 5 p.m. our time. Miller Park Complex in Provo. So it's on all 3 games on ESPN Plus. So 5 p.m. today, and I'll remind you tomorrow. It's also 5 p.m. tomorrow as we're recapping this game. And then Saturday is at 11 a.m. So, again, early. But speaking of tomorrow, guys, guess what's going to be here? You know it. Women's tennis hosting the NCAA tournament regionals that start tomorrow. So, yeah, very stoked for that as they are taking on Denver. Yes, they are taking on so at 10 a.m. tomorrow, UCLA will be taking on San Diego State. And at 1 p.m. tomorrow, guess what? ASU will be taking on Denver. So that, my friends, the women, absolutely awesome. Get on out there. Yeah, you can check out the 10 a.m. match if you like. But at 1 p.m., the Devils will be taking on Denver. So very, 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 very stoked for that. It's (19-5) overall, 11-2 in conference play. They are 9-2 at home, very beautiful. 7-1 away, very, very beautiful. 3-2 neutral. So that. But for Jamia Jackson, her second season, like I said, came over, was at Princeton, did very, very well in New Jersey there. So, and taking over for Coach McInerney, like we've talked about a lot. Diego Nava and Charlotte Chava Tipone are her assistant coaches. So, yeah, they have done very, very well, like I've talked about. And they have Denver tomorrow, since, again, they're the host school. They don't have to play at 10 a.m. Big fans of that. 1 p.m. And they will be taking them on. So, and then, yes, depending on what happens tomorrow, we'll see what the action is for Saturday. But we will be, obviously, I will be off the air when it starts. But we'll have a huge review Monday. For you here, and again, just can't wait to see them and see what they do in regionals and go from there as advance on. So yes, and baseball, as we know, like I said, headed to Orlando to take on UCF. Oh, lacrosse, yes, Big 12's guys, women's lacrosse, but they are all the way across the map in Gainesville for that. As at 4 o'clock today, they will be taking on number 15 Colorado, who they just lost to. You'll be able to check it out on ESPN Plus. So that is they start at 4. That's why I was thinking of 4, because softball starts at 5. I said to you 4 there. But women's lacrosse taking on Colorado, and they fell 19-5 last Saturday. But get back on the field and battle and see what they can do, because, you want to watch that, and I think it'll be a little not that it wasn't, but it was obviously a little more intense being the Big 12 tournament. But the Devils will come out with a little more. I say chippiness. I don't mean cheap shotting or anything like that. That's not how they play. I'm just saying like a little more fire, a little more chippiness because of A, what just happened, and B, as a competitor, you're seeing the team again. You want to turn around and be like, it's not going to be like last time. So, but 8-9 on the season, 3-2 in conference play this year. 6-3 at home, like that. 2-6 away, a little tough as we talked about. But we'll get to that. I'll get to stats on lacrosse, and like I said, baseball headed to Orlando to take on UCF, and you guys all know the standings there. They So with baseball, like I said, headed to UCF to take on the Knights. And the Devils, like I said, talked to you about this week. They are in second place right now, chasing the Big 12 regular season title. They are 3 games back of Kansas. And they are 3 games back of Kansas. Kansas 17-4. They're 14-7, as is UCF. So look, you need a series win. You go 2 out of 3 in Orlando. Beautiful thing. Now I know you guys are like, "What do you mean 2 out of 3? Who are you? And what have you done with the home or host?" No, yes, of course I want to sweep UCF. Good team on the road. So we'll see how it is, but they are also 14-7. Now they are 6-3 at home. The Devils are a game, or no, sorry. They are 7-2 at home. Yeah, that's right. They're 7-2 at home is UCF. The Devils are 8-4 at home in Big 12 play. So UCF is ASU's 8-2. UCF, ASU is 8-4. Let's start this over. In Big 12 play, in conference play, the Devils are 8-4 at home. The Knights are 7-2. Away, the Devils are 6-3, and the Knights, well, they're at home, but they're 7-5. Now, the Devils have a 5-game Big 12 win streak, conference win streak going. The Knights have a 3-game one. Kansas also has a 5-game going too. So, but now overall, the Devils are 31-14, and UCF is 26-15. Now, overall, ASU is 22-7 at home, and UCF is 17-6 at home. Away, the Devils are 9-4, UCF 8-7. So, I mean, above 500. Like I tell you, I'm not going to be, an SEC fan talking to both sides of my mouth, kids. But we said at 500, as long as you're taking care of business at home, which they pretty much have, being 17-6 overall at home. So, and neutral, they're 1-2. UCF, ASU is 0-3. And overall, ASU has a 3-game win streak, which would be against Baylor, but a 5-game Big 12 win streak. So got all that clear. And that is where they are going. And then for track and field, like I meant, they have I want to say it is Saturday, yeah, all day Saturday at the Roy P. Drachman Track and Field Stadium. Yes, down in Tucson, the Desert Heat. They will be taking on Arizona, which again I don't see any listing on ESPN Plus or anything. So, yeah, with track again, all that's going on for the Big 12 Outdoor Championships. Yes, that will be televised. ESPN has done that for years. Big 12 Outdoor Championships, that's May 14th through 16th. Down in Tucson. Really, they're hosting? Yeah, they are hosting. So they are hosting the Big 12, so ASU getting a kind of a little, get their footing down there with this meet, and then the Big 12 championships and the NCAA West regionals. That's the one that's at the University of Arkansas's John McDonnell Field, and then the NCAA Outdoor Championships. You know it, Hayward Field, University of Oregon. Absolutely, just beautiful, phenomenal setting, phenomenal atmosphere, everything. So that, my friends, I look forward to. So, hey, we're going to step aside real quick. When we get back, we're going to talk a little more. We'll talk softball. We'll get into that matchup again with BYU. Kenzie Brown, I guess I'm going to be on the mound, yes, for this game to start, who is 12-5 and just, again, absolutely crushing it. But we'll see what they have going against BYU. Because remember, last year when BYU was here, that was an insane first opening game where BYU's pitcher came in with like a .51 ERA, 0.51 ERA, and Kenzie Brown struck out 18 that night. And yes, the Devils got a laser just over the wall, line drive home run shot from Tiare Ho Ching, and they win that game. But man, that was a battle. The whole weekend was a battle. But yeah, 18 strikeouts for Brown that game. So we'll see if, again, she spoils us, if she can get double digits again. But we'll talk about that on the other side and have more Pitchfork Lunch coming right up.
Audio Jungle.
32, Tony.
Yes, some of the highlights from, again, Texas Tech. Put that in the defensive play you saw there. Emily Shep has just been grinding away at there, putting her head down, going to work, and squaring up on the ball. Talked about that. You heard me ask Coach Bartlett that question too. Emily Shep's been going absolutely bonkers, phenomenal. They will be, again, awesome. And the home runs you saw, well, the full swing one you saw was Brooklyn Ulrich taking it over, getting the dinger, and then Emily Shep and Tanya Windle all with dingers again Saturday right there. Game for the taking. But again, it doesn't line up with all Americans at Texas Tech. And yes, people talk about the NIL. Still got to go out and make the plays, play your game. And the Devils, I mean, you listen to Coach Bartlett and you can get, like, they're not going to be intimidated by anybody. Respect, yes, they're totally different. Apples and oranges, literally. You're going to respect them. They're not going to fear them. And, we'll see what happens. And, yeah, they're, we look at the softball standings going into this. The standings going into this. Now, Texas Tech 19-2, they wrapped up the Big 12, even if they lost their last three, which they would still be 19-5. Nobody could have 5 losses. So, and even if Arizona wins their last 3, they'll be 18-6. So they would still have one less win. But yeah, Texas Tech wraps up the back-to-back regular season Big 12 title. But yeah, they're up top. Arizona now battling for second in position here is 15-6 coming into this weekend, their Big 12 record. Oklahoma State's 14-7, Kansas is 13-8, UCF 12-8-1, Baylor 9-12, Utah 8-12-1, ASU is 8-13, so that tie is actually helping Utah with UCF, and then they're 8-13. Although my feelings about that third game against Utah where they got swept. The Devils actually could be, like I said, they're 8-13. They could be 9-12 right now, which would put them even with Baylor, and that would have put Utah at 7-13-1. So, yeah, I mean, little annoying there, but that ain't going to happen in the tournament. So I know they say beware what you wish for, but but it looks like, and again, with the schedule, obviously playing ASU, like I said, taking on that's not what I wanted. That is not what I wanted. All right, so ASU taking on BYU today. So look right above them. So Utah, just so you guys know, they are taking on the team down south this weekend in Salt Lake City, but tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, as normal. Like I said, BYU's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So they are taking on the team down south. So, and if, like I said, if Arizona wins that series, takes 2 or 3, they finish 17-7. And then that would mean Utah would finish 9-14, 9-14-1, which means the Devils would need to take 2 over BYU, who's 7-14 in conference. I mind you not. They're 7-14 in conference play. And yeah, I mean, that's one game back. But if ASU were to take, so if BYU, if Arizona takes 1 of 2 of 3 over Utah, that, like I said, that puts Utah at 9-14-1. If ASU takes 2, they would be 10-14. So that would jump them above Utah, because they're 8th right now. So they would go to 7th. And Baylor being 9-12, and Baylor has, let's see, they have UCF, right? Oh no, they have Texas Tech. So again, Texas Tech, no matter who they're playing, again, lineup full of it. They, if they sweep Baylor, which is highly possible. I shouldn't say very likely. It's highly possible. If they sweep Baylor, Baylor would be at 9-15. So yeah, the Devils could jump 2 spots. They could go to 6th. Because yeah, they would finish 11-13, and yeah, UCF, even if they lost all 3, would be 12-9. So they would still be below UCF. So yeah, they would be 6th. They would go from 8th to 6th, which means they would be most likely at that rate taking on Oklahoma State. Open up with Oklahoma State, who they did take 2 or 3 from, mind you not. And Oklahoma State this weekend has Kansas. So at home in Stillwater. And like I said, Kansas is 13-8. And Oklahoma State's 14-7. So yeah, I mean, Kansas, they could. It's interesting because the Devils could either play Kansas or Oklahoma State. Now, they haven't played Kansas this year. Again, with off-balance scheduling, both baseball and softball skipped KU. So, oh no, they did. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I was thinking of, wait, they didn't play K-State, right? Yeah. Sorry, they didn't play K-State. They did play Kansas. They went to Lawrence. It was cold. Remember, they took the first game 8-5 and then lost 11-7 and 5-4 before they crushed UTEP and then took the first one against UCF, dropped the last 2, beat Grand Canyon, swept Houston, and then got swept by Texas Tech. But this is where they're at. So yes, But just giving you little statistics, little matchup, because I told you I'd give you that. So for tonight's game, that is at 5. ASU as a team comes in batting .319 in their 51 games. BYU, and they're 5th in the conference. BYU is 10th, and they're down at .283. And Texas Tech, yes, leads, as we know, not a surprise, I should say, the Big 12 in home runs with 113. But do you know who's second? Your Arizona State Sun Devils at 82. And they got Kansas at 78, Iowa State at 74, Houston at 70, the school down south at 62, and let's just go down to BYU. They're ninth. They only have 53 home runs in 47 games. So a home run a game. I mean, ASU has 51 games and 82 home runs. So, yeah. And in 52 games, Texas Tech has 113. So, yeah, getting over 2 a game. Insane right there. So, but yeah, batting average wise, like I said, 390. Well, Tech leads the conference at 390, but ASU 5th at 319, BYU 10th at 283. Pitching wise, ERA, Texas Tech leading with a 1.71 team ERA. ASU is 6th at 3.56. And BYU is 10th at a 7.25 ERA. So pitching, again, can be had. Strikeouts. 350. ASU is second in the Big 12, and they're the only two over 300. Texas Tech has 367, and ASU has 350. And then you get Oklahoma State at 242, but BYU is seventh, actually, with 208 strikeouts. Well, it says 350 and then 29. I don't get what that 29 means. That would be strikeouts. Yeah, so 350 Ks on the season for the Devils on Pitchfork Lunchers. You know this, that Mackenzie Brown, we talked about it, has back-to-back seasons of over 200 Ks. So that's absolutely money. But yes, that is at 5 p.m. 4 p.m., women's lacrosse. Yes, you can let's say check that out on ESPN Plus and root for them in the Big 12 tournament, getting revenge against Colorado, because, again, heck of a season. And we'll wrap on that. We're going to wrap because the senior Lydia Oldno has played all 17 games. Sorry, all 17. She leads the team with 57 goals. Tegan Ang, again, who's been a career just badass scorer for the Devils, 54 goals. And then Jordan Behar's at 25. Addie Shevitz is at 24. And then both Tegan Lowry and Addie Westberg are at 15. Ava Witt has 11 goals on the season. Kendall Morris has 9. Claire Boucher has 5. Alyssa Nichols has 4. Morgan Livingston has 3. Kaylee Coronante has 2. And then Ava Vigloni, Izzy Hammond, Hannah Admaski, and Kara Harris all have 1 goal on the season, which tallies 228 goals for the Devils. Their opponents have scored 220. But assist-wise is crazy because Jordan Behar, who, like I said, has 25 goals, has 57 assists. I mean, she is finding, again, what she her you can say position on the team, but she's getting the ball to the right people, and they've been putting in that 57 assists. And both Addie Shevitz and Lydia Oldno, who has 57 goals leading the team, is second, tied for second in assists with 24. And Addie Shevitz has 7 goals but 24 assists. And this is a team that, I mean, you look at it, has 130 assists to their opponent's 90. So that's, again, makes it tougher for teams. Let's see. And then Jordan Behar leading with total points as, again, 25 goals but 57 assists with 82. Lydia Oldno has 81, the 57 goals and 24 assists. And then Tegan Ang is third with the 59, but the 54 goals, 5 assists. So, yeah, again, when your scorers are moving the ball around too and making sure, yes, if you want them to take the shot. If it's they have a lane, they see it's open, but awesome to see. So very, very solid in and of itself. But yeah, so that's going to wrap it though. Again, Thirsty Thursday here on Pitchfork Lunch. Hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. And hopefully from out of tennis, because I just realized something. I saw it, but anyway, I don't need to go there. But yes, tennis, 1 p.m. tomorrow. They take on Denver. UCLA takes on San Diego State first. So 10 a.m., you can get out there early, get set up, enjoy some awesome regional tennis. But seeing the women back there, 38 straight years in the postseason. It's, yeah, Coach McInerney built the dominance that is, and Coach Jackson, man, she is just crushing it. So, again, look forward to, cross my fingers, being out there. But anywho, I will see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. Have a phenomenal rest of your Thirsty Thursday. And yes, thanks for rating back-to-back Big 12 champs women's volleyball. It is #OurState, team down south. That is for me to remind you of. It is #OurState. So do remember that. And yeah, we again keep proving it to you over and over again. And yeah, you've gotten a few wins here and there, but overall, absolutely owned you. That's why it is #OurState. So have a great rest of your day. You guys know it. Go Devils. And as always, forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call. Blake Baker, Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Pull, touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levis swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
Chuck this defense here. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025. This one the other way. Still going back. Got the drag. Walks up and down. Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her 3 right on the money.
Takes his shot for